1,000 of you, I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna lead together.
In the Bible, it does. It says that God loves a cheerful giver. That's not being cheerful. That's just being like held hostage in order to get money from him, and in the name of God. All right. Today's topic is about this pastor who decided that he wants to imprison his congregation in order to get $20 from him.
Cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you, I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna lead together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. I actually think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife Melinda P. Sapp was alive, was a good date. I could take her to the movies, buy a box of popcorn, get one soda, 2 straws. I wasn't cheap, that's swag. I was looking in her eyes, she's looking in mine. Can't do that no more. Now everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. I got you. Let's see. So put your 20 away, preachers. That 20 wasn't for you. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on take your phone and stick it on the bucket. Shh. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is...
Not even gonna lie, nigga, I am walking out this bitch with my money in my pocket. First of all, nobody carries cash anymore. And not only that, this is the reason why I really don't even like going to churches like that. I'd rather just pray at home or pray whenever I want to, because this is how the churches have been going now. The thing that people don't understand about churches is they prey on poor people. They prey on people's negligence, because they prey on people's, suffering. Because they know that, oh, you're poor, right? You're going to come to church and pray that God gives you money. And by praying, you're also going to sow a seed. By you sowing that seed, you're putting money in the church's pockets, but you don't have any money. But you're still coming back and praying. Like, I don't have a problem with, like paying a tithe, paying an offering or whatever. That's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. I do that too. I used to do that. But it's like, in this type of scenario, this is like bad, because you're literally forcing your congregation to give you money. In the Bible, it says that God loves a cheerful giver. That's not being cheerful. That's just being like held hostage in order to get money from him, and in the name of God. No, it's not. It's in the name of the pastor. Like, not even gonna lie, the moment he says, oh, y'all online too, y'all gotta pay that money, I would have said, nigga, quick, nigga. Those people in there, yeah. Imprison them, nigga. Not me. I'm going out.
That man said, close the doors. Ain't nobody leaving until we get $40,000 tonight. And then he said, shh, this ain't the time to be talking. Giving is worship. Told the preachers to put their money up. He said it was for the people, the congregation, online and in person. I told my wife they would have opened the doors for me, because they was going to kick me out. I would have went viral up in that church that day. Because I don't have a problem with tithing or giving. Matter of fact, I do it freely anyway. But you're not going to demand me. You're not going to tell the ushers to close the doors and say we not leaving until we get $20,000. And I ain't gonna lie, when I seen people talking about it and reacting to it, I was like, maybe they just overreacting. And then I seen the actual video of him demanding and forcing these people to get his money. And I was like, who is he talking to? Like, the audacity of him to, like, go about it this way. But I'm genuinely curious. So if any church goer or preacher, anybody in the, church, like, I really want to know, what does a church need that much money for? Like, what does the money that you receive from the tithes, the offerings, the donations, like, where is it going to? Is it invested into the church? Is it invested into the people of the church, the community? Like, where? And don't get me wrong, I know that the church it's technically, when you break it down, it's a business. It got bills, it got to be paid and things like that. But from the outside looking in, especially these big churches, a lot of people look at them just like they money hungry. Like, because I don't know. We can make a whole different video about this.
Look, like, I'm not here to say I don't respect pastors or I disrespect pastors, but it's like some of them have this thought process, like they are higher than you, like they are better than you. They feel like, oh, because they're praying for God, they feel like, oh, we've been called to a higher power, I'm above you. That's how some of them think. That's actually how some of them think. And it's like, in the Bible, it says, do not follow false prophets. Some of these pastors are false prophets. These pastors are over here driving around with, Range Rovers, driving around helicopters, driving, like having mansions. Where do you get the mansion from? Like, even my own church, too, or the church I used to go to. They told me that the pastor put up in the range, a Rolls Royce, parked it right in front of the church. So as soon as people are walking out, they see that car. Told me why everybody started taking pictures of that car, taking pictures, like taking selfies, posing in the pictures, like posting on the Facebook Facebook account. God damn, I gotta get off Facebook Marketplace, yo. That place sucks. All right, like, I'm telling you, that place fucking sucks. They sell some bullshit, and you got. Sorry, I'm going off tangent here. Yeah, like they started posting on Facebook, and it's like, nigga, what? You're supposed to be a pastor. Why are you like, it feels like you're making your congregation think that they can't afford some shit like this, or I'm basically better than you. I don't know. Maybe I'm deep. Maybe I'm reading into it too much. You tell me. But these are some of the reasons why a lot of people don't like going to churches, because of false prophets. And not only false prophets, I won't call him a false prophet. I don't know him. I don't know his church. But a lot of pastors, they would literally demand money from you. Like I said, the church I used to go to, honestly, I didn't want to go there anymore. Like, tell me why a minister, right, a preacher came in late, like during the church service, he came in late. The pastor called him up all the way to the front and told him to kneel in front of everybody as a punishment. Now, I'm Nigerian, right? My pastor's Nigerian too. So it's like, that's a form of punishment that you used to receive as a kid. When we were younger, yeah, we used to receive that type of punishment as kids. Like, kneel in front of everybody and do what I say. That's authoritarian as fuck. Okay, like, that's not how a leader of a church is supposed to be. Same thing, like, some preachers were having a conversation with each other, and he saw that they were having a conversation while he was preaching. Told one of them to stand up on the chair in front of the congregation, stand up there for 30 minutes. And his ass too, he stood up too as well. I told my mom, I said, the moment he tried to disrespect me like that is the last time he gonna see me. Nigga, I'm walking out. Some pastors are actually like that, but there's some other pastors that I really respect. And I know that they're really like men of God. Okay, those, like, you can see that and be like, okay, cool. Like, most of them, they even ask for money. They just want to preach and spread the gospel. And when they do ask for money, you feel the need to give, because they like don't even force you. They pray so much. Some other pastors will pray for like a few minutes, and they tell you that, oh yeah, you got to pay like $100. Everybody got to pay $100 for the guest minister, for the guest pastor, for all this. Why are we paying? Why are we doing all that? Especially in this economy where a lot of people are not even able to make ends meet. Y'all are going to church, putting money into a place where 9 times out of 10, they're taking your money just for granted. Okay? God loves a person who's able to give happily, who's able to give cheerfully, and not somebody that's like giving because they are being forced to. That's not a congregation. That's not something you should be proud of as a pastor.
Okay, so I finally saw the clip in its entirety of Marvin Sapp, doing the offering and asking people to So $20, so $1,000, so $100, whatever. Here's the thing. I grew up in the church, right? I know how it goes. My thing that I kind of put a bad taste in my mouth is that it didn't come from a place of like, give into the church and give to God so that God could move in your life. He was saying it like, give it to me. Like, I want to see y'all come up here and give me the money. But my tithe and my offerings belong to the Lord. So not once did he say like, oh, when you sow into this church, you will reap benefits from this church. When you sow into this good house, you will reap the benefits from this church, from God. He was like, oh, I know y'all got it. It costs to be up here. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. But it just came from such a place of like, I don't know, it was very forceful, and it was very like, had nothing to do with God. God was not in that at all. That was all flesh. That was all worldly stuff.
Also, some of y'all got to realize these churches are cults. Some of these churches are cults. I saw a video of a pastor also. He scams his congregation. Like, he be coming into church, Rolls Royce, Audi, Fendi on, everything like straight up designer. And they're asking his church like, oh yeah, let me get 40,000. We about to raise enough money for the church. Let me get that money so I can buy myself a nice coat, so I can buy myself some clothes. These churches, some of them are cults, and you just have to see it and read between the lines to understand that. Do you want to be a part of cults? Do you want to be a part of a place where it's disguised as a house of God when it's really a house of money, a house of scams? Especially as a devoted Christian, do you want to do that? And I feel like a lot of people try to defend behaviors like this and make it seem like, oh, this is just normal. Nowhere in the Bible did it say it was normal for us to give money and be forced to give money, or give money and then the pastor can come in the Rolls Royce. Meanwhile, you're still suffering. That's why I say to pray on poor people, because when you're poor, you want to pray and get out of that solution. But by getting out of that solution, you try to give more money to the church. And when you give more money to the church, you lose more money. They make more money. They come in the Rolls Royce. You over here walking to church and shit, riding a bicycle or whatever. That's still good, but at least you're able to walk. But it's the same thing. Be careful out there, man. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It's like, a lot of these pastors, man, some of them, like, you really gotta know what you're getting into before you get into it. You really gotta know what church you're getting into, because you might get into a church that really only cares about money more than their people. Only cares about making that money. It just doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't be participating in something like that. Taking money somewhere else, that's it. At least like try different churches, see how they operate, see how they move. Like I've seen some pastors that cheat on their wives and they come in church and say, oh yeah, I used to, I did this, I did that. I don't want to listen to you. I don't. So, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, right? Okay. Not all pastors are bad, but when you do see a bad pastor, please, like, you have the power to walk away. Okay. God gave you that power to walk away. You have the power to walk away. You need to be forced to give money. Now, is it good to give money or like to give whatever you have? Yes, it's good to give whatever you have. Same as it's good to come in whatever you have. It's good to give whatever you have, because that's a moment of content that you have. Like you're able to give what, not because you're being forced to, but because you want to, and that's good. That's a good thing. So, that's really it. All I'm gonna say is, yeah, y'all have an amazing day, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. All right, peace.